Hey guys! Today I'll explain what Stoicism is, how my interpretation looks like, and how it helps me and possibly can help you reach your goals and live a more fulfilling life. Before I go into it though, I want to tell you that if you search for better ways to live your life, like Stoicism, you shouldn't ever apply it as another person recommends it to you. Read through those ways of life and take what makes most sense for yourself, your life situation, and what fits you best. What works for others never works 100% for yourself, but some parts might be very helpful. You should try to understand it and then adapt the ideas behind it to your own life, goals, or whatever helps you the most. If you understand things, you can adapt the underlying meaning of things and apply it in the most effective way for yourself. Anyways, let's start with what Stoicism means. Some would define a stoic person as emotionless and just accepting what happens in their life or things they have no control over. Others would add that they try to maximize positive emotions and reduce negative emotions as much as possible, and be a calm and happy person which isn't stressed, angry, shouting, or whatever impulsive or negative emotions there are. I live my life and take control of it as much as possible, so the dependence of luck and bad luck gets minimized as much as possible. When bad things happen, which aren't in my control, I dismantle negative emotions through logical reasoning, and at some point you're doing it automatically without having to actively think about doing that. As a little example, you probably know that there are many people in traffic, if not close to all actually, who are getting somewhat angry regularly because another driver does something they don't like or something they don't understand. But think about it, why it doesn't make any sense to even start with being angry at a situation you can hardly influence. You can try your best to mitigate risk or whatever as soon as you recognize the other person starts to do something dumb. More isn't in your power, really. You also don't know why the other driver did what he did. Everything has its reasons. Some of them you know, and most of them you simply don't know. Always try to act mindful towards your own safety, but also be accepting of things you couldn't influence enough. But with accepting those situations, I don't mean that you should accept if you're bullied at your workplace, for example, and just passively take it in. You should actively try to change that situation for the better for yourself. Always ask yourself, what is my goal in this situation with this person and what could be the consequence of each scenario? And act accordingly. Those goals shouldn't be to crush the other person, but it should include the aftermath of those situations. Those goals shouldn't be to crush the other person, but it should include the aftermath of those situations. For example, that you can still keep your job and the consequences outside the argument with your colleague are acceptable. Don't look at fear, anger, or other negative emotions necessarily as negative emotions, because there's a reason why we have those. They are for our safety in some situations and are innate instincts in us which can save our lives, but they can also endanger our lives in some other situations. Most of the time, anger, fear, and stressful situations are created by not being properly prepared, fear of the unknown, or not understanding the situation well enough. Stoicism doesn't mean to be like a robot. Instead, it means to live a fulfilling and happy life, in my opinion. Live a smart, mindful, and balanced life. You should always recognize the good, the bad, and everything in between, no matter if it's about your emotions or certain situations. You should have a full picture of what's in your control and what makes sense to invest your energy in. It doesn't make any sense to invest your energy and time into something you don't even influence with what you do. Focus on what you can control and take your life into your own hands. Work on yourself and aim for the best version of yourself. This was already my short explanation of Stoicism. If you liked the video, Please help me out with the YouTube algorithm through smashing the like, subscribe and notification button. It's completely free and you would help me a lot actually. Thank you for watching, kiss on your belly and see you next time.